Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is the Chariot. I'm seeing the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. This can mean that there's something that you've been finding your way through. Having the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck is about us sort of listening to our intuition as we move through something, trusting ourselves. It can also be something that you're sort of moving in silence with. The second card out is the Page of Pentacles. And the Hierophant. I get the vibe that there is a very practical approach that you're taking to something here. Chariot is showing that you're facing something that feels like a bit of a challenge right now, and you're maneuvering through that. Like, here, when I'm coming up against this, I need to sort of move this way or pivot that way, or I'm gonna have to jump over that. It's sort of like whatever it is that you're facing, figuring out how to maneuver with that thing directly in front of you. And Chariot, there's usually like a bit of an obstacle course, so it may not just be one thing, it may be multiple things, and you may have to approach them differently. Like multiple challenges, you have to approach them differently when they come up. Having Page of Pentacles here and having the Hierophant, there can be help that you're getting. Like Hierophant can be connected with guides, but it can also be about like any sort of information or teacher that you find to be helpful. So it can be like a conversation that you overhear on the street. It can be like a random, I don't know, piece of text that catches your eye. It's about like help finding you sort of when you need it. And also to have a page here as well, the Page of Pentacles, it talks about how practicality is important. And having the Hierophant here, there can be something like philosophically or spiritually that's helping you move through this. There can be something that you're educating yourself on, or even something that you're learning about with the Hierophant. And then I'm also seeing the Ace of Wands here. So this is an opportunity. You can even be helping somebody too. Like having this Page of Pentacles and then having the Hierophant, there can be sort of like a dynamic between two people where there can be like learning and teaching as both of those things happen. So it's not just like one person is the teacher and one person is the learner. It's something that goes back and forth, reciprocity. Six of Pentacles. And then I'm also seeing the Page of Cups and then also the Eight of Pentacles. So I'm seeing an opportunity that you're moving towards. Having the Hierophant here, there can be like something that you're picking up on, something that you're grasping, something that you're acquiring. It feels kind of knowledge-based with the Hierophant here. Like something that you're learning about, but it can be like an organized study or like a focused subject, something like that that's being learned about here or acquired in some way. And Six of Pentacles would show there being a sense of give and take, like a balance to it. As I said before, it's not just like one person in one position and the other person in another. It's this sort of like transient, even back and forth that we're having. And then having the Page of Cups here too can speak about how we're tapping in and what it is that we're feeling and how that's even guiding what it is that we're working on. Page of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So Page of Cups is sort of like I'm recognizing that this feeling is coming up within me, or that I'm connecting with this source of inspiration here. I feel inspired in this moment. I feel drawn in this direction. And Eight of Pentacles, it feels like all of this stuff that you're moving through is sort of being added upon what you've already done and what you've already been doing. Because Eight of Pentacles is feeling like something that you've sort of been giving your energy to already and investing in already, that this stuff that's happening here, it's sort of like the next pieces that are sitting on top of that. So this feels like a layering process or a building process of some sort. And I'm seeing there be definitely, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so Chariot and Hierophant. Chariot's Cancer, that's water energy. Hierophant is the earth energy. It's Taurus, earth energy. So we have this Page of Pentacles here, which is the earth energy, and then we have the Page of Cups, which is the water energy. So it feels like mixing practicality with doing tasks that need to be done, taking grounded steps, like actually showing up and performing, and mixing that with like intuition, creativity, you loving what it is that you're doing or feeling inspired to make the moves that you're making. So it's sort of the culmination of these things, like the relationship between these things. And having the Ace of Wands and having the Six of Pentacles here, it shows that there is an opportunity for there to be reciprocity between these two energies. For some of you, it can be a relationship that you have with another person. But having these pages here, it can feel like something is young or it's at the beginning. I'm seeing the Six of Cups. All right. Don't run away just yet. I'm seeing there be a progression here. Six of Cups and the Devil, you may look at that and be like, toxic territory to be moving into, but I'm seeing Judgment here. Actually, I'm seeing Temperance here. It's not Judgment. This kind of looks like the Judgment card, but it's Temperance actually. And having that be next to the Devil, that can mean that something in the past was so much of a whirlwind that it was like unable to control and unable to temper, and it was like almost impossible for this to maybe be a functional situation, okay? But that's changing now with Temperance. So Temperance means like I'm actually able to practice balance here, practice some sort of moderation that I wasn't necessarily able to before, like I didn't know how before. It's like something was going on that feels shadow related in the past, but it feels like a situation returning to you, but this time it's different. Where in the past it was maybe like too much, like there wasn't enough information about it, there wasn't enough understanding. You may have felt like you weren't far enough along to be able to steer that ship, but now I'm getting it be different for you. It's something that I feel like in the past became out of control in some way. But that's not the case anymore with Temperance. But it feels like this was a skill that was learned outside of this situation, which now that you're potentially being put back in this, you can handle yourself differently this time. It's because of what you know now. And some of you, it's because specifically about like your spiritual education, which when I say that, I don't mean you like going to something formal, even though like some of you may have some sort of formal spiritual education. I just mean like being in earth school, you know, like learning these things that you're learning. So it's stuff that you've acquired through your experience and your willingness to integrate it. So something that from the past would have had you feeling very caged in and unable to liberate yourself from that changes now because you know how to work with this energy. But I'm seeing a very intense one. Yes. I'm seeing Temperance and I'm seeing the Six of Wands. I'm telling you, when you were in the past in this situation, This is something that you could have looked at and been like, if I get anywhere near this, I fold completely. Like, I have no control, I have no power. It's like something that like took all of your agency when you were in this situation. But now I'm seeing it be such a different vibe now, because you've learned how to temper this energy, having temperance and the Six of Wands. So rather than this thing controlling you, you're able to control it now. Like, it doesn't have that power over you where you completely fold. So now you can do with it what you want. It's like when you're learning how to do something that's very, very difficult, and when you start doing it, you feel like say you're learning how to surf. It's like when you start doing it, you get pummeled by the waves, you can't stand up on the board, you're like shaking all around, you keep losing your balance, and you just look at this and feel like it's something that you're gonna have to try so hard to master, but in the beginning it can feel almost impossible because of the learning curve. So I'm seeing there was like a really, really intense learning curve with the devil, because the devil is like really mastering something serious. The devil in the Six of Cups, mastering something serious, where in the past, maybe when you were first introduced to this, it was something where you were like, I feel like I lose all control, or that it goes completely down the drain. There's just something where there was such a lack of moderation, but especially like a lack of education and a lack of understanding of this, that it was like you could have felt like you had no chance. But now I'm seeing it be so different now because of what you know how to do and the skills that you've acquired. And going back to sort of this example of somebody learning how to surf, at first you keep being pummeled by the waves and you can't get up on the board, and you're trying to figure out the timing, and it's like not really making sense. Now I'm seeing you figured out the timing. It's like you have this whole system now that maybe you've applied in a different situation that you can bring back now and apply to this in a way where it's not going to take you over completely. And then you're getting better at it, and now you can do like tricks on the surfboard, or just stuff that's far past and beyond what a beginner can do. And so now I'm seeing you be able to sort of put your own touch on things in a way where before it was just about survival and figuring out how to stand up on the board, and now there's like your own flair that you can add to this, having the magician come after. And I'm seeing too that this win is feeling empowering for you as well, which it seems like it's encouraging you and maybe enhancing what it is that you're doing too. Because rather than feeling like something is sort of taking or draining all of your energy, Six of Pentacles, there's more of a sense of reciprocity now that wasn't there before. The Magician and the Seven of Swords can be you having the power to do something and taking another road or a different road. Because Seven of Swords is usually like us not fully showing up, and it can be us not trusting ourselves or not believing in ourselves to do something. And so we feel like we need to take a low road, or we just decide to, rather than taking a higher road. But I'm seeing this be linked actually with, it feels like something that you've been building. Let me take a look at this. Okay, something related to the past that you're working through. Chariot would allude to you figuring something out that in the past you may not have known if you were going to be able to figure this out. So as I was saying before, like when you were moving through this before, you could have been like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to ride on the surfboard. Now you're getting to a spot where you're like, maybe before I couldn't, but now I'm figuring out how to do that. Chariot and the Six of Cups. So it's like this thing that had been an obstacle in the past, you're learning what you need to do to maneuver through the challenges of it. And you know, it's not like you stand up once and then you know how to surfboard. It's like you have to figure out learn how to surf. It's like you have to figure out all of these different things that go with it because it's multifaceted. So that's why the Chariot is here saying this isn't just a once and done win. This is like a challenge. You face it, a different challenge. You face it, another challenge. You face it, but need to pivot a little bit different this time. It's like that sort of thing. So it's like multiple things that come up, again, like layers to it, but it's something that can now be integrated in a way where before in the past, could have looked at it and been like, I don't know how to work through this. I don't know how to get through this because I'm seeing the devil. So this is something where it's like one of the most challenging things, one of the most challenging energies to learn how to work with. But I'm seeing like your persistence and also your understanding too is what helps you. So we have what's helpful to you is being practical. And when we have the Page of Pentacles showing up, it's about doing things in a way where it's like a little bit at a time, like learning a little bit at a time, figuring it out a little bit at a time, rather than taking on too much, getting overwhelmed, and then like falling all the way back down the stairs. So it's like slowly climbing. And to have the Hierophant and to have Temperance here, it's about sort of like what you're gaining and what you're learning as you move through this process, and it's giving you a type of opportunity to win that you didn't have before. So it's like, it's providing you with stuff that allows you actually to transcend this by moving through. Because I don't mean transcend like bypass. I mean transcend like you're moving through this, so you're coming out onto the top of this, out through the other side. So Ace of Wands and Six of Wands, an opportunity for you to win, for you to be successful because of the Hierophant and because of Temperance. Hierophant and the Temperance is about you learning, but it's not all at once with Temperance. There's a lot of, this isn't all happening at once, it's gradual. Like the Chariot is a gradual energy. It's not like one and done, or I win this little thing and the whole battle is over. It's like a bunch of little battles that you move through. And then to have the Devil, that also speaks about it being necessary to moderate. Then we have Temperance. This also speaks about it being necessary for us to moderate and to take things slowly, for there to be levels to things. Then we also have Six of Pentacles. Again, about this moderation, about this back and forth, about a relationship. So it's not just this one-sided thing or dumping everything all in one place. It's about that balance. And the Magician is about that too. So I'm seeing there be this focus on Six of Pentacles, and the Magician is about like manifesting a type of reciprocity, which I get the vibe that that wasn't necessarily a thing before, because with the Devil being connected with the past, it was something where things were like very out of balance before. But now, like because of what you are learning, it's giving you the opportunity to have a type of balance and to even make it possible to work within a situation that could have felt very impossible to work within before because you didn't have the skill set. But now that you have the skill set, it sort of changes the game and changes the opportunity and potential for you here. The one thing though that I'm seeing is Page of Cups, and I'm seeing Seven of Swords. And so this can sort of be the, if anything's going to catch you up, it's going to be this here. And this can mean something about what goes on when you're feeling certain things and how you react to that, how you respond to that. Because having Page of Cups and having the Seven of Swords, it can be like not being honest about our feelings or sabotaging things when they come up or not listening to our intuition. Because Page of Cups can be like, hey, pay attention to me, like I'm showing up to tell you, like I'm here to send you a message that's very important, like from your intuition or from your emotions, please interpret me. And Seven of Swords can be doing things other than honoring that. So it can be hiding away, it can be not being honest about how we're feeling, it can be deceiving ourselves into something. And I'm seeing that this would potentially sabotage what it is that you're currently building, which I'm seeing 8 of Pentacles and I'm seeing 4 of Wands here. Both of these cards are connected with stability. Like 8 is just a double of 4. And so that's something very hardy that we've been working on. And 4 of Wands is about stability that we're building within our life and something that feels foundational in some way. And 8 of Pentacles feels like all of the work prior and current that you've been pouring into this in order to create this within your life. And this can also be a relationship too, or like a relationship that you're beginning to build or want to tend to in some way. But if you're not honoring how you feel, that's going to be regressive to this process. So I'm seeing that be like the only cautionary thing. It's like you're not going too hard. I'm seeing you moderate. I'm seeing you really take things in stride here. I'm seeing there be this sense of like reciprocity. But again, you have to pay attention to how it is that you're feeling, because this can mean sometimes you're perceiving things and your shadow being like, let's sweep that under the rug and pretend we didn't just notice that. Like those sorts of things that are going to undermine the foundation that you're building and have you building with like false material that ends up crumbling, and then all the stuff that you build on top of it ends up falling because of that, even when you build solid stuff on top of it. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm getting that that's what this is about. So you really being honest with yourself about what it is that you're feeling, even before you need to be honest with somebody else about your feeling, about how you're feeling. Because you know when you're being honest with yourself, that's just going to translate into your connection with another person. For those of you that this involves another person. So it's always going to start at home, right? With you and yourself. So just make sure that when things are popping up, that you're sensing that, you're feeling that, you're honoring that and recognizing that and integrating that and taking that into consideration within your process. And don't be doing something shadow related with it, meaning like tucking it away, acting like it's not there, ignoring signs that you're seeing because you don't want it to be like that. Because as I said before, it will undermine the foundation. And this looks like something that you've been working on. Because starting with the Chariot and then ending with the 4 of Wands, this feels like all of the obstacles that you're going through to make something stick. And I'm seeing a lot of energy that you've already poured into this. So just continue doing what you're doing and honor how it is that you're feeling and what it is that's coming up for you. I'm feeling like Page of Cups are like signs that you get. And you know, sometimes we're traveling along our path and it's like, well, I really want to go this way. And then you have the Page of Cups popping up and being like, you should pivot a little bit or like go down that road instead. And we can be like, well, I really wanted to go down this road instead. And then it ends up like having an avalanche or something, you know? And little Page of Cups is like, I told you not to go that way, but you know, you were being stubborn and you didn't want to listen. And then you end up having to backtrack anyway. So it's just about listening to it when it happens, even if your ego's annoyed by it. Because it's going to save you in the long run. Because your intuition's really working with you, you know? It's like little messages that you're getting from your higher self. And like you notice things when you're supposed to notice them too. Even though it can feel very inconvenient because you have a different agenda. So yeah, just keep it real with yourself and make sure that you're checking in. But apart from that, I'm seeing like everything look really good with whatever process this is of yours that you're moving through. So keep it up. All right, we're looking at Cancer, Capricorn. Something about your past is connected with this too. Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, Sagittarius. Mercury? Yeah. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.